Welcome, NARA conference attendees and members. Really excited to be here to at least share with you some of our trends and highlights of what MCG Partners is doing in the marketplace today and how we can help you, obviously, as a NARA member and conference attendee. So a quote I created going back a number of years ago for my ride for the Pan Mass Challenge, which I first started back in 1994. And I've been thinking over the last 6 months as we've been dealing with obviously this pandemic and social unrest, how it's really applicable to all of us today. And it's also applicable to our not only our personal lives, but also how we're showing up in for our organizations, for our people. So hopefully this is something for all of us can reflect on. Our NARA partnership has been very important to us for many years. We've been a proud sponsor now for 14 years since we started the firm, and I started the firm back in 2007. I've been a member of NARA since 1987 and seen NARA really grow and thrive over those years. And we're really proud and what we feel is very important to be a sponsor in the overall profession of human resources and its development and the future of the profession and the key really importance it has in the success of organizations today and tomorrow. So trends, a couple of key things that I'll quickly highlight. No surprise probably to many of you, the focus on remote workforce effectiveness. It's been around for quite some time. It's nothing new. But as we all know, due to the pandemic, organizations have been forced to go remote and virtual, even if they've never done it before. So it's been a really new paradigm the last 6 months, and it's not going to go away, as we all know, even if this pandemic somehow goes away or subsides. So I think it's something we have to deal with, and really, as we all know, some of the current trends around people burning out, people really having a hard time separating work from their personal life. There's still many challenges, and we've been providing a number of different programs around that for our clients. Leading during difficult times. It's not the first time we've gone through a difficult time, nor will it be the last. But again, we have many new generations in the workforce, and frankly, we've never been through something like this in our lifetime. And you just can't take for granted that leaders and managers are equipped to be able to manage during a crisis and during a difficult time frame, especially how intense it's been over the last 6 months. Diversity inclusion. We're really fortunate to have a team of 8 people that provide both at the strategic and tactical level programs and strategies and how not to just create a diverse and inclusive workforce, but also how do you create that culture? How do you create that systemically and create sustainability? And how does it really reflect your business strategy and what success looks like for your organization? So something that obviously we've seen a huge focus on the last several months. Virtual learning and development. The reason I'm highlighting this here is because everyone is because we're all working virtually. Everyone's learning virtually. Everyone's developing virtually. So organizations have had to shift, have had to adapt, and understand that people do learn differently. People are not going to sit on a virtual program for a half day, for a full day, for several days. So we've redeveloped and updated all of our materials, all of our programs, which we've been delivering the last 6 months, so that they're impactful, they're interactive, and that people can stay focused and actually learn and actually change. So that's something that's been really big theme of ours over the last 6 months. Other things I'd like to highlight, dream teams. We have a new technology platform as part of our PI partnership. This whole ability to really help understand how your teams are aligned with your business strategy, something that we're really launching right now. Pretty excited by. Managing change, we're working on several very significant change management projects, clearly because not just the pandemic, but really organizations, as always, are going through an intense amount of change. Markets have changed and shifted. Their business strategies are evolved. There's been a heavy dose of mergers and acquisitions and restructures. So how do you manage this amount of change effectively, strategically, especially on the people side of it? One of the things that we'll talk about here a little further is something I call the future of leadership. We spent a couple of years researching what is the future of leadership, and we came up with a new agile leadership model, which I'll be sharing in a second. And then lastly, I just finished writing a book, which was published this past end of June on Amazon. It was able to reach #1 bestseller status, which was very exciting for myself and for our team and organization. And you can find it on Amazon. It's called The Rise of the Agile Leader. Can you make the shift? And we'll talk a little briefly about that as well. So, as a business, we've always really thought of ourselves in three specific areas. We're a full service firm. We work with startups to the Fortune 500 across industries, across sectors, a variety of different cultures and a variety of different, business scenarios, whether it's higher growth, merging growth, M&A, shift in strategy, you name the business cycle, we've had experience in addressing that. And as you can see here, for your leaders, we provide an array of solutions. We have over 50 executive coaches around the world that we have worked and vetted very thoroughly and are certified in the MCG Partners coaching methodology. And obviously, we do a lot of work here in Greater Boston as well as domestically. And you can see the array of services we offer here. Same thing for your talent. We have an array of services designed for team effectiveness and also team and individual analytics around your talent. And then third, for your organization, we provide a variety of organizational services, including making sure you're focused around culture and values, and as we mentioned earlier, around diversity, equity, and inclusion, and then other services as well. So let's talk about, the Agile Leader. Why Agile leadership now? What does it have to do with your business? And frankly, I would have said the same thing before the pandemic, but I think it's actually been even accelerated over the last 6 months. So as I mentioned earlier, we did about 2 years ago. I raised the question to our team. What's the future of leadership look like? And as you've been watching the trends in business over the last 5 to 10 years, there's been some dramatic changes. Notably, the shift of the consumer mindset, the notion that consumers want something now, and their needs and their interests change on a constant basis. The intensity of change in a global marketplace and the shifts of the consumer, the shift of business models have dramatically changed. A couple of quick statistics. Some of this may be familiar to you, but since 2000, 50% of the Fortune 500 don't exist today for a number of reasons. But it just is an example of how much the business climate has been shifting and changing over this time frame. And when we did this research, and we interviewed CEOs, we interviewed clients, we participated in several different leadership studies. The question is, what does the leadership, what does a leader need to have in terms of qualities and attributes? And so we came up with this model that, as I said, took us about 2 years to create. It became the foundation for the book that I wrote. And as you can see here, it's a number of leadership attributes and characteristics. We created this leadership model. We created a proprietary Agile Leader 360 coaching program, as well as leadership development program and journey program. So it's something we're pretty excited about. We really think incorporates the characteristics that you're allowed to both assess and then develop as you determine the gaps, and ensuring that your leadership is not only aligned, but they have the key capabilities and attributes and characteristics that can be developed so that your organization can be successful, so that you don't only have an Agile leadership team, but you have an Agile leadership organization and culture. Excuse me. And then last but not least, as I mentioned, that's the foundation of the book that was published here, The Rise of the Agile Leader. Can you make the shift? Please take a look at it. I have over 20 terrific testimonials from CEOs, HR executives, and business leaders in the marketplace. It not only incorporates the Agile Leader model and methodology, but also really provides a roadmap journey of what it takes to become a successful leader today and tomorrow. Hope you have a chance to read it and enjoy it. And again, thank you for the opportunity for this little presentation. We're so thrilled and proud to be a sponsor and supporter of NERA, and hope you enjoy the conference. Take care.